Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Attack on Titan Season 3, Episode 3. So, real quick, I do want to say that I will no longer be watching the previews. I had an incident last episode where I watched the preview and it was a little spoilery. Luckily, the one after Episode 1 wasn't all that spoilery, but the one after Episode 2 was. Now, I guess it was a misunderstanding. My friend told me to always watch everything after the credits all the way to the end. I swear to God, that's how he worded it the first time he told me. And then last night I mentioned to him about getting kind of spoiled by doing that, and he's like, no, you don't have to watch the previews. You just watch up to the point, and if it looks like it's going to be a preview, then basically he just said to look out for after credits, which is how I always watch my videos, because I don't always have people telling me when the after credits are, so I always just watch the credits until I realize it's preview. Usually I can tell within like the first frame, and I usually don't get spoiled. Hell, for this show, I'm pretty sure they even put like a board up that even like says preview or something right before they do the preview. So, so yeah, either way, luckily it was only the first couple episodes, not a big deal. Luckily I didn't like wait to talk to my friend until like after season 3, like halfway into season 4, and be like, oh, I could have not been watching them this whole time, you know? So we're good. With that said, I also have a guest tonight. My puppy, she's not a puppy, she's actually very old, but Eva, my little dog, is staying with me tonight. Usually she's upstairs, but the family member she usually stays with is not home this weekend, so she's with me. And sometimes she likes to dance around and like kick a blanket around, and she like makes a whining noise every time. So if you hear a weird whining noise, it's just my dog. Don't worry, no one's being murdered. She's not being hurt. She chooses to do this. She has 4 blankets on my floor right now, all spread out nicely, and she chooses to get on one of them and kick it around for 5 minutes. So just letting you guys know. But anyways, without further ado, we have a lot, like Rice family being the true royal family, some stuff from last episode. The people making the blimp was really fascinating, even though it was like, I felt like that was such like a Passover scene where he was just like, oh, I've had to kill a lot of people to save us, you know? Like, the teacher, which I think is what I saw in the preview, is gonna be Erwin's teacher, who's too smart for his own good. I'm really interested in that. The lady, the hot air balloon, I speculated, I wonder if it's Armin's mom and dad, because it was like a couple trying to like get in a hot air balloon. We know that Armin's parents wanted to go over the wall and then like never came back or something like that, right? So maybe they got killed before they even got to go over. Maybe that hot air balloon, we know that Armin's smart too. Maybe he gets those smarts from his parents who invented a hot air balloon. I'm assuming they invented it, unless there's information out there on hot air balloons. But either way, that was very cool. And then obviously Historia's mom is another one that guy killed. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch more. Like I said, I did watch the after credits, the preview of the last episode, so I know this one's called like Reminiscence, and it seems to be about Erwin, so I'm pumped for that. So let's jump into it. We're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Yeah, I try not to... We're right into the opening, okay. I try not to go into this with any kind of, like... I don't want to pretend that I didn't see that after credits, you know, and when, like, if there is some kind of... You know, when the teacher's shown... If my reaction isn't, holy shit, that's the teacher that was mentioned last episode, it's because I saw it in the preview, you know? So, I don't like to fake it for y'all. I assume that was like Erwin's dad, but was that the teacher right there in the opening? Could it be one and the same? Could that teacher also be Erwin's dad? I guess that could be the case. I really like this song. It's just such a peaceful song compared to what I'm used to for Attack on Titan. when I was looking for an image to use as a thumbnail, I usually take it from the opening. I did notice that scene where we got to see, I think that was younger Rhina and all them. Okay. Oh, so we're getting her info. Hmm. Interesting. Oh, her hair looked more blonde there than when she was sitting at the tree for her mom. That's just. Hmm. Oh. Damn. Maybe it's just the shade is making her hair not look blonde. Oh. What the fuck? Damn. What? Uh, like, talking about like abortion, maybe? Oh. Well, Kenny. Damn. Is she trying to help Historia by saying that? Or is she just trying to help herself? Hmm. Damn. Okay, so I wonder who that MP killed then. Never mind. I thought that was Historia's mom that the MP killed. That was my bad, guys. Hmm. Hmm. Something your mom never did. Oh, okay, that's what they said about Ymir. I mean, they said the true royal family. Hmm. Damn. We played you, bitch. To be fair, he's still... Yes, but he did still... He still did read the script, right? He should have known reading that script was for a purpose, right? Damn. I love you, Zoe. Hmm. Interesting. So I wonder if he's right, if she's gonna have to do some shit to try to protect humanity. Okay. Quite literally. Hmm. What? What? Huh. What the fuck? Okay, that's some wacky shit. That's the crazy thing is I watched a reaction of people who had that theory in season, like partway through like season 1 or 2, I think. They're right. If Zoe's right. Oh. Shit. Hmm. Damn. I just keep thinking about that info from before. I need to pay attention. Yes. Okay, so it was his father, seemingly. I got like 80% done with that mid card, but I didn't get to read it all. Oh, is that one of theirs? Hmm. Oh shit. Okay, tell him Pixis. Oh shit. They want to put his story on the throne. Damn, okay. I don't know how well she'll take that. Curious incident. Hmm. Whoa. Damn. Dude, did we not get his pass though? I wanted it. They're trying to pin that on him. Uh, freaking government. Oh. If the son might know if the son saw at all who did it. Hmm. This is crazy, man. What? Hmm. Okay. Hmm. They're like, isn't he the one who did it? What the fuck are they talking about? Well, at least they blame the scouts as a whole, not specifically him. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Oh. They're rewriting history. Oh no. Damn. Yeah. What? Hmm. Yep, I talked about this in the discussion last episode. So he told another kid whose kid probably told his parents, whose parents reported it to the MPs or something. Thus, his dad got killed. Preaching it in the streets and stuff. Idiots. Wait, is that supposed to be Levi? Shit. Man, I did not expect it to end there. Alright, well, we'll obviously watch the credits and then stop right before the preview. Just in case there is some after credit stuff, but we will start talking about the episode. Man! I mean, obviously, the biggest thing I want to talk about first is, might as well get the biggest thing out of the way, right? Is their theory that you gain the power, like, if you eat a Titan, you gain the power of that Titan. And if it's a Titan that does it, it is also able to turn back into a human. So Ymir was only able to turn back into a human because she ate Rhina and Bertholdt's friend. Now, they said, like, you gain that Titan's power. We don't know what Rhina and Bertholdt's friend's power was, right? Like, what does that mean? Because Ymir's Titan form didn't change, right? Like, she looked the same when she ate him as she does when she turns into the Titan, but maybe it just means, like, the power to turn back and forth is, like, kind of what they mean. Maybe they don't mean something specific. Like, I was thinking, like, if someone ate Annie, would they be able to do that ice crystal, whatever that crystallization stuff she does? I don't know. That is it, guys, for episode 3. Okay, so, yeah. Now, obviously, this is speculation, but it seems like one of those moments in the show where sometimes the characters speculate on something, but it's most likely true. I think that's kind of the case here, where I think that's gonna be most likely the case. Now, if they surprised me, that'd be pretty crazy. Like, if it isn't that, if they're just wrong. I guess it kind of makes sense if they're being... Because obviously there's still a difference between the people who... Like, not every person that can turn into a Titan is like this, right? Like, not all of them started off as Titans, and then... Well, that's the funny thing is Ymir started off as a person, then got turned into a Titan, then ate someone, and turned back into a person, right? So, like... unless they scrubbed... Like, Eren had his memories scrubbed a bit, so, like... Did Eren's dad turn Eren into a Titan? And then fed someone who could turn into a Titan to Eren? You know it would be some shit. If Eren's dad could turn into a Titan, right? Had that power, and he fed himself to Eren. That's why his dad isn't around anymore. And whatever that memory, like, erasing drug, which also that memory erasing drug might be what the king used to, when, like, rewrite everyone's memories that's in the walls, for one. Also, like, if he just doesn't remember it, and that's how Eren got his Titan form, like, was his dad injected him with something, Eren turned into a Titan, and then fed himself to Eren, so that way Eren would turn back into a person. That would be some shit, I don't know. Just speculation, but either way, or there's a difference between the way people turn. Like maybe Ymir was given the shitty Titan drug, the one that just turns you into a mindless one, right? The same one that was used to turn everyone that was in Connie's hometown, right? And then there could be another drug that is capable of making someone like a sentient Titan, like Rhina, Bertholdt, Annie, all that. But I guess it could be some crazy shit if Rhina, Bertholdt, and Annie and all of them, like, there's like a rite of passage in their village where... But that means they have to sacrifice someone, so, like, who do they sacrifice? And if they do live a long time, I was just about to say, like, maybe when one of their soldiers gets... Like, they call themselves warriors, right? Maybe when one of their warriors gets too old to, like, continue the fight, they then get eaten by someone younger to pass on the power, right? I thought maybe it could be something like that. But if it seems like Ymir lived for 60 years, unless you only live that long by staying in Titan form. Like, do you still age when you're out of Titan form? And is that why? I don't know. But yeah, it's just it's crazy. Like, that information drop was just nuts. And I just never really like I said, I watched a reaction, and it was somewhere in season 1 or season 2 that they kind of like thought that, and I can't remember what in season 1 or 2. Oh, maybe I think it was around the time that, I guess it was like towards the end of season 2, when Ymir talked about uh how she was a Titan for 60 years until she ate their friend, right? I think that's where they speculated, like, oh, was she able to turn back because of that? And when I saw that scene, I never came to that conclusion, right? I just thought that, I also didn't know the time difference. Like, it was like she ate their friend at some point, and then at some other point she turned back into a human. So I thought maybe it was just like, I didn't know there was a catalyst that made it happen. I thought maybe just after a certain amount of time, there's a chance that you can just turn back, right? I don't know. I don't know what I thought, but I guess it makes that scene make much more sense, right? So, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty crazy. Uh, we'll have to learn more about that as we go. But I guess going back towards the beginning of the episode and then working our way through, other than that part, we had the backstory for Historia, where the mom was very cold to her, and I wonder why, right? Like, and her mom said if only she wasn't too weak to kill it. Now, is that the mom being so cold that she doesn't even refer to her child as, like, as a person? She said it, you know? That's, like, not very nice. But what if her mom was talking about something else? I feel like there's some kind of bigger reveal we're gonna find out. Now, maybe there's something about Historia with this blood of the king flowing through her. Like, her blood has the power to save humanity. Like, what does that all mean? And if that's the case, like, is there something about her that does make her more of an it, you know, that the mom was talking about? Like, I wonder if there's going to be something that makes us, like, sympathize for the mom, or maybe not sympathize for her, but realize what she was trying to say, you know? I also wonder who that MP killed then, right? Because I just assumed it was Historia's mom, because he said, like, a slutty mistress that didn't know her place or something like that was one he had to kill. And I assumed that was Historia's mom, but here we saw Kenny killing Historia's mom, so that must not have been who he was talking about. So, I don't know. I'm really fascinated in all that, but with, like, her blood is, like, the power to save humanity, is there, like, does the royal family have a way to, like, turn Titans back into humans with their blood? And, like, could they use that blood to, like, end the Titan uprising and everything? Like, just when it, like, I don't know, find a way to, like, shoot your blood into their mouth or something in, like, little capsules, and every Titan you do that to just, like, turns back into a person, and eventually just wipe out all the Titans by doing that? I don't know. It's just that's a crazy theory. Who knows, you know? Like, hell, he took Historia, and he has Eren. Eren has the power to control Titans, and if Historia's blood is something that can, like, save you from it, then, like, maybe they tag team. Eren controls the Titans to, like, line them up and tells them, like, okay, open your mouths, you know? They just feed them the blood, and then boom, you know? I don't know. Or is it really what, like, they're speculating that the Rice family might have a Titan that they're gonna feed Eren to, because that's why, I guess they were saying that's also why the Armored Titan was throwing Titans at Eren, was hoping that one of them might eat Eren, and if that happens, that Titan will gain the coordinate that they talked about, right? And then that Titan might be easier to control, manipulate, take, whatever, because Eren is just so against Titans, and and everything, and so for humanity that it seems like Rhina knows that they're never going to get him on their side, but they need that power. Also, whatever that power is it just to be able to control Titans? But the idea that it's called the coordinate just is interesting. Like, it makes me think, obviously, like it's some kind of key that leads to a place, you know? Like, this whole story in the beginning has been get to that basement, you know? Like, get to this location. What if this power that he has is also about getting to a location, and the coordinate is the only way to lead you to those coordinates, you know? I don't know. There's so much, but anyway. There's a lot to talk about, but I do briefly want to talk about the fact of the guy that read the script, right? Like, was like, you didn't talk, did you? Oh, my dog's making noises and it's about to push my light over. But like he couldn't have read that script and thought to himself, I don't know why they're having me do this, you know? Like, he acted like the one dude betrayed him and, like, shouldn't have talked, and he's like, I never talked, you know, like, acting all proud about that, and, like, bashing the other guy for talking, but he's the reason the guy talked, you know? Like, if you never read that script, even, yes, I know you were at knife point, like, he was losing his fingernails and being tortured too. Even if you would have just succumbed to the knife point and didn't read that script, the other guy would have never caved in either, you know? So, I don't know. I just wanted to point that out because I thought it was ridiculous, you know, to get upset. So, anyway. Erwin's past, I guess. We'll talk about that first, and then we'll talk about his plan. With it being, I guess it was one and the same. I talked about that where I was like, when I saw that opening and I saw Erwin, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's his dad. And then last episode, when we found out that that was the teacher that the MP killed, I was like, oh, maybe that's the teacher. And then I was like, oh, maybe they're one and the same. Maybe it is teacher and dad. And it was teacher and dad. But he, you know, his son asked a question during the lesson, and then when he was, when they got back home, he gave him the answer saying that, once again, it's all speculation, but his speculation is that 107 years ago, when humanity was, you know, on the brink and came behind these walls and everything, they, the king rewrote the memories, right? Is that First King, or altered the memories of every human remaining? I wonder what that was like. Like, were they just like, here's all the injections that will protect you, you know? Like, from turning into a Titan or something like that, you know? And then those injections are the ones that mess with their memories in order to make them easier to control. And then they just either got rid of or hid all the knowledge of the world prior. So I really wonder, was the world prior just like our world, and then they just rewrote the history to control it? I still want to know what Rhina's group is up to. Like, it seems like the reason they wanted to cause humanity's extinction, right, was to find the person with the coordinate, I think, right? Like, I believe that's why they kicked in Wall Maria and then came back again later on. I think they're hoping that by killing every human, one of them will turn into a Titan and be the coordinate, and then they'll have access to it, right? I mean, I could be wrong, rather than it just staying hidden forever, kind of thing. I could be wrong, but I think that's my theory as to why, as soon as Eren showed up, they stopped their attacks, because it was no longer, and I even think Ryan at one point said it's no longer necessary to cause humanity's extinction, because they found what they were looking for, is what I think. So, but anyway, yeah, where was I going with that? Why did I get on that? I guess I just wonder, like, is Rhina's group part of this group? Like, or are they from a part of, like, the interior walls? Or are they from a location completely outside the walls? it seems like there is at least one other location completely outside the walls, unless the Beast Titan is completely alone. I guess he could be, but the Beast Titan didn't know about ODM gear, which leads me to believe that he came from somewhere else. But where did he come from, where has he been the last 100 years that he hasn't? I mean, I guess I don't know when they developed ODM gear, but from the time they developed ODM gear to present, where has he been that he hasn't seen the gear they're using? I'm just really curious about that too. So anyway, I got off track. So Erwin's backstory was really sad. Seems like he told a friend, and then that friend seems to have probably, like I said, probably told his parents or something, and then the parents reported him, and because of it, his dad was killed. It's so sad. And I guess they let Erwin live just because they're like, oh, he'll either get the message or no one's gonna believe him because he's a kid, right? Maybe that's why they let Erwin live, and they killed the teacher because they didn't want him teaching this to people. Or, yeah, I don't know. Because I don't know if that kid died too, that Erwin told. Like, did they kill the kid and kill the dad? I'm not sure. But either way. Erwin's plan, though, is to reveal that the current king is not the true ruler, and then show that Historia is of royal blood, put her on the throne as queen, and, depose the government for all their lies that they've been telling so far, and everything. So that's a crazy plan. I'm looking forward to seeing what goes on with that, but in the event of something happening to him, he's put Hanji or Zoe in charge of like the next leader and everything, which I think that's good. I think she's smart. I think she's capable. She's a pretty good fighter, like maybe not Levi level fighter, but she has her wits about her, and she's been kind of the one figuring out a lot of these things and hypothesizing a lot of stuff. Sure, it feels like Levi is more of his right-hand man in a way. I don't know why I feel that way. Maybe I just have like season 1 bias where we saw them. I felt like we saw Levi and Erwin together more than we saw Erwin and Zoe, but more recently we've seen more Erwin and Zoe. So maybe it's just my, what I saw first kind of bias coming in there. But yeah, I don't know that. I think Levi is a good like team leader, but I don't know that I see him as a good like all of the scouts leader. So yeah, I liked his moment of like going up to the corpse of Reeves and just like vowing revenge for him. And I liked him filling in that little bit of info. I actually forgot to talk about it in the discussion of last episode. Of Reeves seems like he cared about the people of Trost, and I was like, that's nothing like what he was when he was trying to get his card out and didn't care if they all died trying to do it, But apparently, with him coming back to Trost after the tragedy and everything, he found like a newfound respect of, the people and the town, and really wanted to help it, and made big strides to rebuild and help the people and everything with his wealth and all that. So that's really cool, and sad that he's dead. We did see the son again, which I wonder if the son knows that it wasn't the scouts that did this, and I wonder if he can be one to like testify in the future that it wasn't them. I don't know what the son saw. He was off like peeing, and then when his father was killed, he was like cowering down. I can't remember if he like peeked and saw Kenny at all, or what he saw, but we'll have to wait and see for that. But yeah, crazy stuff again. Just this show throwing in more questions, answering a few things, but I'm blown away by how interesting the lore is to this show. It's like the fighting is good. It's great. I love the ODM gear animation and everything, but I feel like the animation and all that could be like absolute shit, and I'd still just want to watch this so bad because I want to know what's happening, So anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you did. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. Links in the description below should be popping up on the screen. And I'll see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.